YouTube, what it do to daily output? I am Dre Day. Got quite a few articles I'm gonna go through today. I don't know if I'll do them separately or all together, but we'll see how I'll handle it. But the first article is coming from the Messenger. 6'16" who brutally beat teacher's aide in viral video attempts to avoid a trial. It's a quote coming from the article. "I will not quit until I am me again." Former Matanzas High School popper professional Joan Nadish said after she was attacked by student Brendan Deppa. Brendan Deppa, a former student at Florida Matanzas High School, is set to plead out rather than face trial after he was caught on video viciously attacking his teacher's aide earlier this year. Footage of the woman went viral on social media in February and showed Deppa rushing and knocking down Matanzas High School paraprofessional Joan Madish while at school, according to Florida news outlet Flagler Live. The then 17-year-old punched and kicked Nadish multiple times along her body and face before staffers pulled him away. The New York Post reported that Deppa, who is on the autism spectrum, is 6'6" and weighs 270 pounds. He also threatened to kill Nadish after being arrested. The incident may have been sparked when Deppa, 17 at the time, became angered after being asked to put away a portable video game console. The outlet said there is no agreed plea deal between Deppa and the prosecution, and a sentence will be left to Circuit Judge Terrence Perkins' discretion. Nadish has not expressed interest in easing Deppa's punishment, Flagler Live reported. There's a photo of the lady. Deppa's sentence could include probation of 30 years in prison. Perkins could also choose to sentence him as a juvenile. His legal team is expected to enter a plea on October 30th, according to Daytona Beach News Journal. A GoFundMe for Nadish, a 58-year-old mother of two, has since raised over $101,000 to help her with financial concerns. And we got a little video about the situation.
Student walkout planned today to support a suspended Boise math teacher may or may not have taken place. The walkout planned for noon to support Laura Bolton was supposed to be statewide in support of her efforts to stand up for kids facing cases of bullying and abuse. We talked to a former student of Bolton who says the teacher stuck up for her when she was...
Well, I guess that has nothing to do with the article. An update in September says Nadish was undoubtedly experiencing long-lasting effects from the attack. Her positive attitude and determination to regain strength and get through the painful and frustrating effects such as further hearing loss, sight concerns, shoulder pain, and constant discomfort from the damage to her ribs is impressive. In March, Nadish posted on the page that she has been recovering at home and that the attack had changed her life. "No one should ever have to endure what I went through that day," Nadish wrote. "My children shouldn't have to bear seeing their mother in that condition either. I have a long road of recovery ahead of me, but with the help of my children and friends, I will not quit until I am me again." I wish I could find that video. Maybe I'll post it later. But obviously a disturbing situation, especially when dealing with autistic children. I used to work with one. Well, not work with one, but one of my old bosses had an autistic child, and he was a real skinny, tall, skinny guy. It's probably like 130 pounds soaking wet. He was at least 6 foot. But when I tell you he had Superman strength, he was pretty powerful for a guy being that frail. I would have never expected that. But moving on to the next article, New York Post. St. Louis youth football coach shot by parent angry over his son's playing time. I'm trying to get comfortable here. How can I get comfortable? I gotta get me a chair. Rearrange my area. A St. Louis volunteer youth football coach was shot in the back Tuesday in front of 9 and 10-year-old players by a father who was ticked off over his son's playing time, prosecutors alleged. Shaquille Lattimore was wounded when Daryl Clemens allegedly shot him 4 times after a weeks-long feud finally boiled over during a practice this week, the victim and authorities said. I didn't see the gun until it was already too late, Lattimore told St. Louis Post-Dispatch. I ran and he shot me in the back. I fell and he shot me a couple more times. Clemens, who used to coach the same team before Lattimore came on board, allegedly taunted him while he was on the ground before the other adults jumped in. After he shot me, Lattimore said he was like, "I told you I was going to pop you," expletive. Lattimore, 30, told authorities that Clemens was upset with him for not starting his son, according to the probable cause statement provided by the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office. So, picture of the victim. St. Louis football coach Shaquille Lattimore was shot and wounded by an angry parent who was upset over the son's playing time. Facebook Clemens, 43, was charged with first-degree assault and armed criminal action. Lattimore volunteers as assistant coach for a city recreational team called the St. Louis Bad Boys, made up of 9 and 10-year-olds, and coaches with his cousin. He was also armed when he showed up to the field because he said it's located in a bad part of the city, but he gave the weapon to another adult before practice started, according to the newspaper. That's the alleged perpetrator. This photo is provided by St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department. Shows Daryl Clemens, who turned himself in after shooting Shaquille Lattimore. I gave my gun to someone else to hold. I didn't want Clemens to feel threatened, Lattimore reportedly said. He added that if he had the gun on him, I would have defended myself. The coach, who's also a married father of 5, was taken to the hospital for treatment and now is in stable condition. The victim's mother, Samika Lattimore, called the shooting senseless. And that is the actual photo of the team he coaches. Shaquille Lattimore told police that Clemens was upset with him for not starting his son. We're supposed to be bringing these kids off the streets and teaching them what to do, what not to do. We've got all these kids traumatized because their coach was shot in front of them, she told the newspaper. He could have easily hit one of those children. Out of control parents aiming their ire at coaches is nothing new. A Virginia father was arrested in August after he allegedly beat his son's youth soccer coach, an attack that left the victim with a black eye and swollen face. And we got some more videos, articles. This little short video is youth football coach accused of punching and knocking out a 14-year-old player. Let's check this out real quick. short little clip. It didn't go further into detail, but yeah, the daily output. I'm Dre Day, y'all.